Hello and welcome back to my channel, guys. I bring you this interesting video that I found on TikTok. So we have this black American woman who visited Egypt, and she's being dragged for the things that she said about this place, guys. I'm not making this up, so let me just play the video. Unfortunately, I cannot find the video because she took it down. I mean, they went after her, so she had to take the video down. So I'm only playing this clip from the person who stitched this video. You know, he used it as a background and had his own review on this video. So let me just roll this video, but leave your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below, guys. So let's just get straight into the video.
If you're thinking about visiting Egypt, don't. It was a complete hole, waste of money, and the people were terrible. The entire time I was there, I was harassed, discriminated against, and constantly followed like they were flies to shit. They had issues with me dressing like this and even attempted to prohibit me from entering every tourist attraction I tried to visit. To make matters worse, the country lacked a lot of infrastructure and is basically living in complete squalor, despite the constant increase in tourism money they see annually. This was the most unsafe I've ever felt in my life, and before you ask, no, I did not go alone, and there was a man present with me, but that did not stop their inappropriate advances. In short, them, and you couldn't pay me enough money to go.
And that was the video, guys. So when this video was posted on TikTok, I will start by playing the stitch from this. Like it's more like a continuation from this guy who, you know, played this video in the background. So let me just roll the stitches, guys, but I'm interested in hearing what you think about this video in the comment section below. This video hasn't been taken well in the country of Egypt, so bad that it's not even allowed to play there, you know, like you cannot find it on TikTok if you are based in Egypt. So guys, let me know, leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and let's just get straight into the stitches.
If you ever wanted to hear what a narcissist sounds like, that was the perfect example for you. That was her comment on Instagram. Someone claimed and commented on the video that Egyptians do not want to consider themselves Africans, and most North Africans are disgusting. She replied, I did not want to mention that because she doesn't want to get cancelled twice in a span of a month. And she continued claiming on Egyptians, y'all aren't even descendant of original sub-Saharan African Egyptians. Y'all stole all this. So let me get this right. This woman is an American woman from an African descent, went to an African country, a third world country, a developing country, and filmed poor people in poor neighborhoods, calling them disgusting and calling an African country a shithole. The same description that Trump used to describe African countries.
Why do we want these people from, quote, all these shithole countries here?
If that's not textbook description of supremacy, I don't know what else is. I don't know how H0L and people like her get the audacity to film poor people inside her car and complain how poor they are and disgusting they are. She was filming people that did not do anything to her. It goes to show how superior she felt over the locals. It boggles me, this woman lives in LA, and Los Angeles has a huge problem with homelessness. Imagine a foreign tourist going to LA filming homeless people from his Uber, looking down on them, calling them poor, calling them disgusting. How would you all feel? How would H0L feel? To be honest, I would not be surprised if she looks down on them too. I'm not surprised, to be honest, by the bad experience she's gotten. Because if H0L gave people in real life the same attitude she's given us online, I'm not surprised if they found her insufferable. This woman didn't say they stopped me from visiting the places that I want. No. She said they attempted to stop me.
And even attempted to prohibit me from entering every tourist attraction I tried to visit.
As if the whole country belongs to her. And she claimed they had issues for her dressing like this. I don't know what kind of fantasy in her head she was trying to live, but certainly that was not an Egyptian attire, that was Moroccan attire. We get a lot of Westerners like this. They go to conservative countries dressing the way that they want, and they wonder why people are looking at me. As if this is the norm in Egypt anyway. To be fair, this is not the first time I hear a Westerner calling Egypt a shithole. This British guy did the same exact thing.
To be fair, the view is good if you sit on the floor. You can see the pyramids without the half-built shithole below.
Westerners with supremacy complex, visiting developing countries, having certain expectations because they come from wealthy countries, and if they're not met, they curse everything around them. It's the sense of entitlement that always gets me. And even in that case, as an Egyptian, I apologize to her and any other tourist who got harassed in Egypt. If that video was about the harassment she claimed she got, I would 100% support her. But hey, since H0L is concerned of getting cancelled twice in a month, it seems like she's only concerned about her image as an influencer and a model. Also about her hair brand she's promoting. The thing I would say to H0L, given that you are an Afrocentric, stay in America. Stay in America forever. I bet other people from other countries would find you insufferable. And I would never want them to have the same experience Egyptians had with you.
You're thinking about this from Egypt, don't. It was a complete waste.
So that video is actually not available to view here in Egypt. I had to get somebody outside of Egypt to send it to me. So there are some things I want to address in her video, and so sit back and let's get educated because I made some notes. So start off with a bit of math, statistics, and political science. Every government across the world sets a national poverty line, where it says if you make this much money or below, you are living in poverty. So for Egypt, the official government numbers is about 27.3% of Egyptians fall at or underneath the poverty line. More than half of those live in rural and upper Egypt, which judging by your video, you are in Luxor and Aswan, which is rural and upper Egypt. To give this a little bit more perspective, in terms of dollars and EGP, for salaries, the average Egyptian, this isn't everyone's salary, it is not consistent across the board, but on average, salaries range from 2,400 EGP to 10,000 EGP. In USD, this roughly converts to $78.84 to 330 USD a month. This is not per week like we get paid in the US, it is per month. So 8.4 million. 8.4 million is the number of Egyptians who are currently residing in the country that do not have access to sanitation infrastructure. Infrastructures in the country have been improving since 2018, but of course they're not going to develop as quickly as they would in Western countries. Trash collection is largely done by civil society, not by the government. However, the government has been doing some initiatives recently to sort of close this gap. So in accordance with Egypt's Vision 2030 plan, which is available online in English for you to read, Egypt is focusing on improving its infrastructure in terms of clean water as well as sanitation, protecting biodiversity, which means making sure areas in the country are cleaned up, as well as how they can be sustainable with these solutions. These changes can't happen overnight. Experts as well as the Egyptian government have been working tirelessly to ensure the beautification of the country as well as ensuring its citizens have access to clean water and sanitation. A lot of these plans were revealed at COP27, where you can go online and read about those yourself. I need Westerners who come to visit this region in general to recognize that the Middle East is not all like Qatar, Abu Dhabi, or Dubai. There is poverty and you will see poverty here. And it speaks volumes about you as a person who holds one of these blue passports that comes here and makes fun of poverty on the internet because you felt like you didn't get the most out of your trip because it didn't meet your aesthetic purposes.
If you're thinking about visiting Egypt, don't. It was a complete hole, waste of money, and the people were terrible.
This video is filled with footage from very, very poor and rundown areas in Egypt. There was another creator who stayed in one of these neighborhoods because it was only a couple of bucks a day for an Airbnb. And she had similar complaints. She was not a woman of color. So the correlation is you guys went to really, really poor neighborhoods with people that are not used to seeing foreigners and outsiders. If someone was coming to Canada and I knew that the neighborhood they are visiting is a very, very low income neighborhood that has higher crime rate, I know they're going to have a shit time. And that's not even a country within the region of developing nations. Facing racism and bigotry and not wanting to come back, that is totally valid. My problem is y'all don't plan your trips. You go to very poor neighborhoods and then you say that Egypt is quote unquote a shithole and that you hated your entire time there and that the people are terrible.
This woman named H0L, she goes to Egypt and she's absolutely livid, so angry. She calls the country a shithole country because she's not able to go and carry out her Middle Eastern, Aladdin, exotic fantasies and have her photo shoots because people are bothering her and because people are poor. She's like, why am I in this foreign country and I see poor people everywhere? Like, on my vacation? How inconvenient. Listen, I've visited places both in the Middle East and in the US where I'm like, not my vibe, don't want to come here again. But I've never berated people and put them down for the conditions in which they live, mostly based on their economic status. Because that's literally why she was mad. And I do believe that discrimination does exist, and if that's the case, I'm so sorry. But I'd like to have a little bit more insight into our own privileges and our own biases when visiting foreign countries.
If you're thinking about visiting Egypt, don't. It was a complete hole, waste of money, and the people were terrible.
Let me tell you something. If this video was about Egyptian men harassing her or like making inappropriate comments or her feeling discriminated against, I would have been the first person in her comment section apologetic and telling her like, I'm so sorry you had a bad experience. But it wasn't now, was it? If you are a Westerner and you go on vacation in the global south and you are inherently privileged because of your passport and your dollar bills compared to the native people of the land and the developing nation that you're visiting, you're out here making videos complaining and being disgusted by poor people and their environment, that must be the most ignorant, out of touch thing I've ever seen in my life. It really isn't Egyptians' fault that you had just watched Aladdin and wanted a little, Princess Jasmine moment in your Moroccan kaftan and Indian jewelry in Egypt for some reason, without doing any research or prepare yourself for the native population, and then you find the pyramids not to be in the middle of the desert as you ignorantly thought, but as you worded it, in the hood. The fact that you've been sitting in the car filming poor people while you're driving by and their environment, making fun of them and embarrassing them online that have done nothing to you, absolutely funny to me. Let me tell you something. If you were giving these people a quarter of the attitude you were giving in the video, and even a sprinkle of the audacity in your comment section, especially on Instagram, I really don't know exactly what you were expecting. I'm sorry that you experienced bigotry and you felt uncomfortable, but I'm also sorry for the people who had to deal with you because you seem to be an insufferable person. Maybe it's time to stop traveling and look inward and work on your personality and your bigotry, because if you're doing this in a foreign place, I really don't want to know how you treat homeless and poor people in LA where you live.
And that's all I had for you guys in today's video. Please leave your own thoughts in the comments section below. I mean, everything that I had in mind that I had to say on this video about this video has been said in the stitches, but I'm interested in hearing what you guys think about this video in the comments section below, and let's be peaceful about it. I do not promote violence on this channel, guys. Let's be peaceful. Yeah, and if you have not subscribed to this channel, guys, please go ahead, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that every time I upload a new video you will be notified. Yeah guys, so I will see you in my next video. Peace.